This past week I had the pleasure of catching up and hanging out with a few of my good friends. Maybe you've heard of them. Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Robert Herjavec. Sound familiar? Okay, so full disclosure, they're not my friends yet, but I did have a chance to see them all speak at the National Achievers Congress in DC. Hi, I'm Jessica Castle, your stress-free launch strategist, and today I want to share with you 5 awesome takeaways from that event so that you can apply them to your business with a whole new mindset. I love going to live events, and if you haven't been to one in a while, go ahead and put one on your calendar now. But what I really love to do after live events is take some time and integrate and think about the big takeaways. I take a lot of handwritten notes, and I love to share those takeaways with you because I feel like we all don't have the budget to go to every single amazing conference that there is in the world. So if we all share things that we learn and we spread the love and the knowledge, it's just like you were there. So today I'm going to be sharing 5 key takeaways that I really want to make sure I integrate in my business going forward. 2 are overarching themes that were touched upon by all the speakers at the conference. And then I want to share a key takeaway from each of the keynote speakers, who were Robert Herjavec of Shark Tank fame, Gary Vaynerchuk of YouTube Internet fame, and Tony Robbins of International Transformation fame, and my favorite, Shallow Hal fame. So one of the major themes that every single speaker touched on was the power of execution. Gary Vaynerchuk talked about it, Robert Herjavec talked about it, Tony Robbins talked about it, and all the other speakers touched on it as well, that your ideas are great, but knowledge isn't power, implementing that knowledge is power, as a direct quote from Tony. Even with the takeaways from this conference, it's great that I'm fired up and inspired now, but if I don't take action on the ideas and the principles that they shared with us, it doesn't do me any good to have attended, and I'm super guilty of this from conferences in the past, and it's totally something I'm trying to work on. But if you have been planning and strategizing and reading and researching, and you're doing all the procrastination aspects of growing your business, it might be time now to switch into execution mode and just do it. Launch your product or service, create that next piece of content that's going to rock everyone's world, run your first Facebook ad, host a live webinar, do some of that execution work, and you feel so awake again. You feel so connected to your business. You feel like you're making progress, and the result doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get 100 people or 1,000 people on that webinar if you do it, or if you get 1 click on your Facebook ad or 1,000. There's so much power in execution and accomplishing something that you've been wanting to do for forever that I highly encourage you this fall to totally kick into execution gear. The other overall theme of the event was that you have to make your money work for you. So full disclosure, the tickets to this conference were super cheap, like $97, and it was actually 2 tickets, right? So I ended up paying like $45 each for my husband and I to go. So I kind of expected that there would be some sales pitchy stuff, and there was. But it was still valuable lessons. So there was a program about investing in the stock market. There was a program about how to make more money through real estate. But the real key takeaway, if you took away all the salesiness of the presentations, was that in the online space, you can make a lot of money. I've been successfully able to make 6 figures for 2 years in a row now, and I don't have a lot to show for that, right? Like, I kind of have, paid off some debts, which is great, but there's no giant savings account or anything like that. So it was really interesting to me to switch on the perspective of, if you're making good money, why aren't you setting some aside in a great investment strategy, whether that's real estate, stock markets, certificates, what have it, that you're working so hard as an entrepreneur for your money that if your money is not also working for you, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Even if that means you just need to start investing in a 401k or a STEP IRA for yourself if you're self-employed, do something that is working for you, that puts your money in a place where you actually get to make money from the money you worked so hard to create. Okay, so those were the overarching themes, but let me dive into some specifics from the keynote speakers themselves. And I want to kick off with what Robert Herjavec talked about when he kicked off the conference, and that's to keep goals and your purpose as your number 1 driver. What he meant by this is that everyone has different definitions of success, and he shared an amazing story about his father, who was an immigrant to this country, and they raised him here, and his father had always said Cadillacs were for rich people. And so when Robert made it for himself, he took his dad to a showroom and bought his father a Cadillac, and his father was blown away, right? That was Robert's big goal, to make his father know that, like, we have made it. Like, we're the rich people now, we can afford this car. So what does success look like for you? For a while, for me, this was leaving my 9-to-5 job. And luckily, I have been in business by myself now 3 years, which is crazy. But how do you define success? Have you made it when you're able to pay off all of your debts and have $10,000 in the bank? Have you made it when you get to move and go live in another country? Have you made it when you buy your family or a relative their house or their dream car? There's a lot of stuff out there about how $1 million is what you have to make, but really the median 1% is actually $440,000. So if you're making that, you're in the top 1% of the United States. So what does success look like for you? What's your big goal that's going to be like, yes, I made it to this level? Obviously, you always will then want to have a new vision or a new goal, but think about what success looks like to you. It doesn't need to be a 6-figure launch. It doesn't even need to be a 6-figure business, but figure out what your real goal, your real purpose, your real driver is, and always keep that in your focus, and it will always keep you motivated, whether the times in business are good and easy or hard. So then Gary Vaynerchuk came on stage and kicked it off in the afternoon, and he had a ton of amazing points. I've got like 2 pages full of notes because he was just throwing out, his awesome one-liners. But like the overall theme, or the things that hit hardest with me, was his big input on accountability and personal accountability. He actually said that accountability is the quickest way to happiness because you start to worry and focus on those things you can control versus those things that you can't. And he also said that everything that's wrong in your business is your fault. And once you figure that out, it's a super enlightening thought. So for me, this is something I've recently read a lot about in Turning Pro and also in the 4 Agreements, which my awesome friend Carol Egan sent to me. And personal accountability, both for your life and for your business, is so important. And it's something I'm still working on all the time. But as I continue to get better, I've even got a little post-it note on my desk that says 100% responsibility. But as I get better and as I continue to practice it, I am more fulfilled, I am less stressed out, and I know that if I take the focus and I work on things, no matter what they are, it makes a difference. The thing is, everything online works. Email marketing works, Facebook ads work, webinars work, video series works, challenges work, everything works, right? It's all a matter of how much effort you're putting into learning how to do it and taking responsibility if it doesn't turn out to be right. You also have to take the responsibility to pick yourself back up if it didn't meet your goals, tweak some things, and try again. So if you have been feeling kind of down and out about your business and aren't sure what's working, try a little bit of personal accountability and see if that helps you get moving forward in the right direction. Okay, so then this event wrapped up with some awesome physiology, and Tony Robbins got us all revved up, and we were jumping and high-fiving, and even my husband, who's not one of those participation people, got into it a little bit. We let out a lot of screams. It felt awesome. But my big takeaway from him, and if you're a high achiever, listen up because you might resonate with this one too, was that you have to trade your expectations for appreciation. I literally broke down in tears when he had us do a gratitude exercise at the live event because I am really hard on myself. I think I should be 10,000 light years above where I am, even though I know people would kill to be where I am now. And I just never am satisfied with my growth, and I'm constantly just pushing and striving and trying to get there. I love having a to-do list and checking everything off and just like check, going through the motions of building this business. But he had us take a moment and find things to be really grateful right now. I'm really grateful I have the opportunity to work for myself. I'm really grateful I have the choice of putting on pants in the morning or not. I have so much to be grateful for. I have awesome clients that I love to work with and who so appreciate me. There's a lot to be grateful for, and I'm sometimes sitting around so miserable that I'm not at this hypothetical there. So if that's something that you have also struggled with, and I think again it's a real high achiever problem, those people like me who are like straight A students and like to get the gold stars and like, yes, we did it, when you're feeling really hard on yourself and you're really in that kind of like struggling and churning of like, oh, I'm never gonna get there, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna happen, I'm not gonna be, you know, the next Marie Forleo or Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, stop and be appreciative for what you do have. It really put me in a whole different state of like, if this launch does 20K or 100K, either way, like there's so much to be grateful for. All right, so it was a super awesome event. They are international and national, so I'll link to the conference below so you guys can check it out if one is coming to you nearby. I have a friend who's out in Phoenix, Arizona. They'll be there in November, and she was like commenting on my Insta stories like, yeah, I'm totally gonna go. So I will link that below, but just to recap, here's the 5 takeaways for you. Number 1, you gotta execute or it doesn't count. Number 2, find a way to make your money work for you. 3, define your own versions of success and keep that goal and purpose constantly on your mind. 4, from Gary Vaynerchuk, take personal accountability. Everything wrong in your business is your fault, so you know that you have the ability to fix it or hire someone who can. And 5, when you're really feeling down and you're not sure like when you're going to get there or the next thing's going to happen in your business, take 2 steps back and appreciate what you do have, and then you will be much freer to take action onto what you want next. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll be going to about 2 more conferences this year, so I'll definitely do some takeaways on them. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below what your favorite personal development or entrepreneur event you have been to. And please share with us your number 1 takeaway from that event, so again, we can all learn from each other. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take these takeaways and execute, and I will see you back here next week with another video.